Okay, welcome back to From Football to Football, guys. Today I am joined by Álvaro Sánchez San Miguel, UEFA PRO coach, former professional player in Andorra, entrepreneur, educator, and co-founder of projects like Safe Football and La Pizarra, Táctica. What makes Álvaro especially interesting is that his vision of football goes far beyond tactics, focusing heavily on emotional intelligence, communication, education, leadership, and the human side of the game. Álvaro, great to have you on, mate.
Hello, Mike. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here today with all of you, and I'm so excited with this
Mate,
interview.
the pleasure is all ours, so thanks for coming. Alvaro, when I looked at your profile, one thing stood out immediately for me. You don't seem like a coach who only studies tactics. You seem much more focused on people, communication, and emotional intelligence. Where does that vision come from?
Well, I think in my opinion, the most difficult thing as a coach is to connecting with the players because we have a lot of things in our minds, but to express, to communicate, and to to reach the player, I think is the most difficult for us. So in my career, I had a lot of coaches, I have a lot of situations, but the I don't know the things that I remember with like an special ones are some situations with coaches or with the team where my feelings, my emotions was in a high level, and this is very important for me, and that's something that I try to translate to each team that they manage.
I 100% agree with that. When you were saying that, I was thinking about my previous coaches as well. And man, the ones I won, I don't know if I won something with these coaches or not, but the ones that come to my mind are the ones that I connected the most with, that had that human connection. So I completely agree, man. Completely agree. One thing I found really interesting is that football isn't your only professional world. You also work outside of football in revenue management and business. What is it like trying to juggle these things while pursuing a career in football?
Well, my life is a little difficult in this way because if you don't work in professional football, I think it's very difficult to only train or only be in a team. For example, in my situation, I'm sorry, I'm the coach of a team in a semi-professional league. Here is in the second division, in the second league of Andorra. But if you only have this, you cannot pay the bills of the house, the food, the car. So one thing that is important for me also when I was a kid, I love football. I had the opportunity to play in top clubs and top level in Madrid. I'm from
Hmm.
Spain,
Hmm.
but my parents uh, tell me that I must learn and I must have studies. So this has been very important for me from my childhood. And nowadays, I have my career, my passion as a coach, but also I had my job here in Andorra. For example, I work as a revenue manager of 4 hotels here, and I try to
Yeah.
balance
Yeah.
the my job, the football team, safe football, La Pizarra Táctica, well, a lot of things, and I have to like a puzzle,
Yeah.
puzzle, yeah,
Yeah. To
puzzle,
make a puzzle with it. Yep. Yeah,
yeah.
100%. Oh, mate, your parents are very smart people, Alvaro, and I am telling my kids this information now because, mate, I never studied anything. I thought I was going to be messy, and like when that didn't happen, I was like, what the hell am I going to do? Thank God I love teaching English, and I've managed to combine that with football. But mate, if not, I would be in Mercadona stacking shelves, man. Like seriously, it's a very good advice, absolutely, and it takes pressure off you as well to only make it in football, right? You've got another avenue as well, which is great, man. You've experienced football both as a coach and a player now. How different does the game look from each side?
Well, I think. Uh, Here we have two different worlds, very, very, very different. Because when you are only as a player, you wake up in the morning, go to a training, have your breakfast, train, I don't know, 1 hour and a half, 2 hours, then you go to your house with your family, maybe take a nap, go to the gym 1 hour, and you have all the afternoon free. And the next day is the same, the next day in the same, and you are you have a very special situation because you have your work in something that you love, but your thinkings and your feelings are only about this, and only these moments of the day.
Yeah.
When you are a coach, you maybe in my case, uh, you are a coach 24 hours in the day, 7 days in the week, all the days in the year, and it's so difficult to separate when you are training, when you are working in football, and when you are in your extra time, your free time with your family, with your friends. Because I don't know, for example, I take a nap, and in my nap I dreaming about a new exercise, a conversation that I have had with a player in the next rival of the next match. It's very difficult to disconnect from this situation.
Mate, absolutely. We have no idea how easy it is when we're players, when we're playing professionally. Like, no idea until you become a coach and then you become the father of 22 players, right? Like, you
Yeah,
become this father figure, and all of a sudden, as we know, the people that are parents, we know that you never stop worrying about your kids, and like you'll never stop worrying about how your players are, the next opposition, the president who is putting pressure. So many things to worry about, man. But yes, this is a great insight, man. And I'd love to talk about something in Andorra because when you were there, you did something very historic as a player. You experienced
hmm
winning a historic double with UE Santa Coloma in Andorra. Okay, what surprised you most about football in Andorra during your time there?
Well, I think we can take a while here to talk about football in Andorra because it's very, very different to football in other countries where people maybe be used to play or to train in a competition. Because here Andorra is a country between Spain and France, and it's very, very small in the mountains between these two big countries. And as a small country, there are less population, and we only have two divisions. Another thing is the national team that is very important to the country because it's the image of a country, and they invest a lot of money in this. And another thing is a private club that is called Andorra Football Club, which the main owner is Gerard Piqué from Football Club Barcelona.
Mm.
And this club competes in second league of Spain, a professional team.
Yeah.
But inside Andorra, we have two leagues, the first division and the second division, each league more or less with 10 teams. And it's different because we play three times, 3 rows.
Wow.
Uh, you train and you play in the same fields of your opponents. For example, I remember a funny situation when I played in US Santa Coloma.
Yeah.
We are playing in the battle title against Inter Escaldes,
Okay.
and the week that we play against them,
Yeah.
we are training in the same field, half field from us and half field for Inter Escaldes. So, for example, you cannot train set pieces; it's
Of course
impossible.
not. Oh my God, mate! Yeah, they will steal all your secrets. Yeah, you almost have to train like the opposite of how you'll play to trick them, right? Like that's probably the tactic. But mate, that's crazy. And obviously, you get to know these other teams very well, playing against them 3 times, sharing these fields. It's a different atmosphere there. Wow, man,
Yeah,
very,
it's
very.
it's it's funny because you were training, and you get back to, he's injured, he
Yeah.
won't play. And
Oh
no,
my
for
God.
example, like
Yeah.
it's a small country.
Yeah.
Only I was also we have a cup, a super cup, and friendly matches. So maybe you can play against the same teams 7 times in the same season. So in the first stage is funny, but when you have played 6-7 times against the same, fuck off. No, I
Yeah,
don't
man.
want to.
Mate, no more secrets. It's like, not you again. Like, come on, man. I saw you 2 weeks ago. Yeah, this is it. That's so good, mate. But did you like playing in Andorra? Was it great? Did you celebrate the title? Like, how was that experience, man, with the boys and with that team?
Yeah, it's very unusual here in Andorra because like a European country,
Yeah.
we play European classification competitions like Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League. And this is so important for the clubs of this country because it's a stage that they can, or around, it's round that they can pass to the next in, for example, in Champions League or in Conference League. It's a lot of money for the club, for the budget of next season to try to win the league or finish in the second position of the league to play Conference League. And
Yeah.
this is like a will
Yeah.
that all the teams try to be inside. And for
Yeah.
example, in my situation in this season, in second league, we have two teams with a budget higher than teams of the first division because like teams in Andorra have good results in Champions League and Conference League, and also the national team, sorry, also has good results in Nations League and
Yeah.
competition
Yeah.
like that. Next season, Andorra will have two teams in the first league that will play European pre-classifications.
Wow, mate.
So, for example, in my league, these two teams were with top players,
Yeah.
people with only play football
Wow.
that is very unusual in second league,
Yeah.
with the target to promote to first division and play European competition the next year.
That is fantastic, mate. So if you go to Andorra, guys, like there is a possibility of playing like Conference League, Champions League. Like what a great carrot, to motivate you. And very good analogy, man. It's like a wheel that all the teams are trying to get inside. I love that. That was a really good, really good line, man. I'd love to ask about modern coaching, okay, from your perspective, because I think you're very at the cutting edge. With technology, with these thoughts and the mentality you have towards it. What do you think modern coaches need today that maybe in the past 15, 20 years ago, they did not need as much?
Well, I think football has changed a lot. This is a reality, and nowadays I think coaches we have more knowledge about the game. We have more tools or more skills about tactics, methodology, physical strength, analytics. But I think there is a very very strong difference that is in the past. I don't know, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, they played, and maybe the coach only has to have the locker room happy to train, to try that the best player has the more situation that he can to win the game. For example, Maradona was, if Maradona hasn't his better game, was change the side and try to get balls to Maradona, and that's all. Nowadays, I think the individual things are very important. I think they have in the individual things are the difference. But as a coach, we think we need to have a very more perspective
Yeah.
about the game, more perspective about what is happening inside the field, and the possibility to change um, in something related to the team, in the system, movements, where we have to play more, where we have to defend better. No as individual players.
Yes.
as a team.
Yeah. Oh, mate, that's a really good answer. Really good answer. So basically, of what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but maybe in the past, yeah, they had their best players, and the tactic was like get that ball to the best player, perhaps, and see if they can do it. And obviously, then, if the players have a game plan from this coach, okay, this is the game plan, and they are not winning the game or the game is not going their way, the coach maybe says, well, guys, you're not implementing my game plan, so try to implement it better, basically. Like, obviously, it's an individual player problem. But maybe what you're saying here is it's more like a team thing where maybe with the system has to change, not just the individual players, but the actual system itself needs changing, and maybe at half time even you can change that system. You can be flexible. Is that what you're saying? Is that an
Yeah,
important
yeah,
characteristic?
yeah. For me, a good coach is a coach because I think more or less all of us we have the same information, more or less the same knowledge about the game. Maybe one is better than other, but I think the best coach is not that the first plan or the main plan of the game is all okay, and we only have to adjust some things. That I think the best coach is someone that if in the first half it doesn't work, or maybe you can be winning the game 1-0 or 2-0, but it doesn't seems like you are satisfied with
Yeah,
the result, with the performance of your
with the
team.
performance. Yeah,
And for me, the best coach of a good coach is someone that can analyze the first half, analyze what is happening in the game, and change in the second half. Because all of us, when we have a game, we have a main plan for this game, but the ability, the skill to change if something is doesn't going like that we want,
yeah,
this is the case. For example, this year, as a coach of the West Santa Coloma B,
yeah,
the
yeah.
under 23,
Mm.
I had players with jobs that study. For example, I have 5 policies
Yeah, wow.
that work in police.
Yeah,
That that is very important for me because
yeah,
they were very important players for in the squad,
yeah.
and they work in the night.
Phew.
So
Yeah,
some weeks I don't have them in the trainings, but yes in the match. So for example, this year I was used to have a main plan, but in my mind I have a plan in the halftime to change and break the rules. And that's for example in our match against La Massana, the
yeah,
third in the league,
yeah,
a very good team with the top scorer of the league, with a player in the winger that was in a
yeah.
level of first division here.
Wow, yeah,
We were 2-0 in the no 2-0 in the first half,
wow.
and with this change in the halftime, we finish the game 2-2 and having situation to win the game. So, for example, me as a coach, I think I have control all the game. Also, losing the first half 2-0, but
Yeah.
all is under control.
Mate, when I think of this is a very good answer, and it's something that I have not thought about because I take it for granted from my professional career. I hope, like you're saying, I think things are changing, but when I was playing, you would go out with a system, and that would be the system that you would stay with the whole game. There were no surprises at all. It's more of the same in the second half, always more of the same. But if you're more motivated, maybe you play better in the second half. That was the idea. But now what you're saying, man, there is a real element of surprise with you, like because this X factor of changing the system, the second half, like is something I don't think many teams expect, and the other players maybe it takes them, it's a bit of a shock, right? And the one example I think of here, because I'm a Manchester United fan, that's my team. I think of Ruben Amorim, when he was there in Man United, and I think everybody knows what happens there. He would not change, he would not budge from the 4-3-3, and everybody's like, please, man, change the system. And like, credit to him, he stuck by his beliefs, but it's hard to say that it was a good idea not to to be flexible in this case. Anyway, man,
And
yeah, tell me.
and sorry, Mike. And this is we have talked about tactics or
Yeah,
system
yeah,
but there is another thing important, and that
yeah,
is, in my opinion,
yeah,
the message that the coach transmit to their players. Because, for example, I played in the first row, row
yeah,
in
yeah.
the league against the best team, sorry, in the league, the best team, with a budget of first division. That's not only in my mind. I have the change that I could make in the halftime, but what was the message to my players was, in the first team, in the first half, sorry, we have to survive. Like Mario Bros, that you are level, and you survive.
Yes.
This is our target in our first time. If we can score a goal,
Yeah.
wonderful. But
Yeah.
we have to survive. And then
Yes.
in the half time, we will change things.
Yes.
And
Yes.
our match starts in the minute 70, sorry. More or less. We were in this team, in this match, we
Yeah.
were 1-0 losing until 70 minutes. And after that, I changed the system, I changed player, I changed all in the game. We break the rules. We make a post,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
also in the I don't know, in the 89, 87, we received the second goal, and in the 93, the 3-0. But this is a team that was used to win all his
Yeah.
game 7-0, 8-0.
Oh,
And in
mate.
this game, we reached, like,
Mm.
in a tactic plan, but also in an emotional way, in our way to communicate as a coach, that our game starts in the 70 minutes and we have to survive until that, and then it's our opportunity.
Wow, mate, that is such a good story because also, man, really, I know you ended up losing that game, but you hit the post in a moment that was like, it was a 50-50 moment in that game. If it had gone in, the game could have changed completely, because of this change, man. And mate, again, thank you for the analogies. I think everybody listening to this, a lot of footballers are very visual, and that Mario Brothers example of surviving is like so good. Like, yeah, you have to survive until, and the way you transmit that to your players, if you transmit that with confidence, with like, guys, trust me with this plan. When we change it, it's going to make a difference. And when you change, they believe that, right? So, speaking about this, the way that you transmit these emotions, it's a great segue into the emotional intelligence in football, which you're all about, man. You created, in the beginning, it was called Evie Football, but now it's morphed into Safe Football. Okay, this is created around emotional intelligence, values, and education. Why do you think emotional intelligence is still so overlooked in football?
Well, I think it's something that maybe nowadays is uncommon to listen in the official courses as a coach, in the locker rooms, when you talk with another coach. The most common things to talk is about tactics, about methodology, about uh, analyze the final of the Champions League this week. I don't know, this type, but personal situations, to talk about emotions, I think it's difficult to everyone. I It's difficult for me to try to talk about my personal emotions, for
Yeah,
example.
yeah, me too.
Think about to try to manage and to talk this with your players. This, for example, I think it's important as a coach to recognize that when you make a mistake, for example, I think is a very vision, like you are a human like them,
Yeah,
and you can manage that and have resilience and go up and continue. And emotional intelligence in football, in professional football, I think is very, very important because the matches are defined in details.
yeah,
And a player that is good, a player that maybe in this situation is not good, is very, very important in semi-professional, because you are always in the professional, in same professional, and
Yeah.
with the children,
Yeah.
you are talking or you are coaching people,
Yeah.
football players, but people,
People.
and each player, each person is different, and this is that's why I say before that for me the most difficult task as a coach is to connecting with people, because you have to connect emotionally in a football way, as a personal way with them, and emotional intelligence I think is very, very important for that.
Mate, that is great, man. And you're so right. You're absolutely right. Everyone that I see, like on LinkedIn, all the posts, it's the majority are about the tactics and analyzing. I hardly ever see, I can't remember the last time I saw a really vulnerable post about the emotions, like of the actual coach or the players or how they're feeling, or yeah, nobody talks about that, but it's so important, man. It's so important to create that connection. One thing I found really interesting is that your projects also focus heavily on parents, which is great and much, much needed. What are the biggest mistakes that parents make in grassroots football? So, when the kids are coming up, getting older in that level, what are the biggest mistakes that those parents are making?
I think in my opinion they have two main mistakes. First one, the excessive expectations that they put on the kids, because I understand they work in the week, during the week, they have a kid that plays football and it's their opportunity to to be happy, to enjoy the moment, to enjoy the match. I understand that, but kids are living a stage, are playing football in a very wonderful state, and I always say this. I will say that play football with 8, 10, 12, 14 years old is very wonderful, because you only play, you don't have to think about that. And parents with high expectations, and also they put pressure on the kids about you. I think they try that their kids has to be perfect, has to be the best players of the team,
Yeah,
has to play in the best teams and best
yeah,
leagues of the city,
of course.
and that's not the way. If your kid had really a good level, someone of a big club will call them, but not. I think it's not necessary to press the kids in this way.
Mate, oh man, I can relate to that so much. Were your parents, just out of interest, man, when you were like a professional, were your parents ever pushing you, or did they always, like, were they the ones at the like shouting and supporting you, or did they ever put pressure on you? Did you ever feel that from your parents?
No, 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 no. For example,
Yeah, thank goodness.
my dad,
Yeah,
when the game starts, they go to the corner where there is no one
yeah,
in the field,
yeah.
and he puts his glasses to see the game, and always, for example, always it's only a gesture, but always in the half time he look at me, and
Oh, that's
always
fantastic.
all the games
He gives you
he
a
said,
thumbs up. He gives you a thumbs
yeah.
up. That's so good, man. That is so good. What a great dad. Okay, that's how you should be, guys. I think that's a great parenting. Do you think? Okay, this is a bit of a controversial one, but let's see. Let's see. If you don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but I want to ask you it. Do you think that some coaches, perhaps, let's just say, hide behind their tactics because they struggle with communication and leadership?
Yeah, maybe. I think I had, for example, in my career, coaches that tactics and methodology and physical strength are were top. I learned a lot from there, but I have lived some situation as a player, for example, with these coaches, that in that moment I wasn't the one of the main players of the team. And for example, I played as a central defender. And in this situation that I am talking about, with that coaches, I wasn't in the 11
Yeah, the starting
starting
11.
11.
Yeah, yeah.
And for example, for me as a coach, it's very important how do you communicate with the player that is in this currently moment not important for the team. Talking about the starting 11.
That's hard.
And
That's
for
a good
example,
one.
this is communicate. This is intelligent, emotional intelligence, because you are thinking about the emotions of other people. And for example, these coaches for me, I learned a lot of tactics, but I learned also things that I wouldn't do as a manager with these players that maybe are important for a team, but for the starting 11, no, at
Yeah.
this moment.
Yeah, oh mate, you're so right. We learn from all our coaches, whether it's what we want to do or what we don't want to do, right? But we learn
Yeah.
from all of them, man. That's a great answer. You have worked in many different football environments, connected to different countries, players, and cultures. Okay, where do you think English, okay, becomes important for modern coaches today? The language.
Well, I have experience with the English because I think in each season I had players that doesn't speak Spanish, and I have to communicate with them, and I use the English. And for me, it's important because all of us knows how to play football, but in the way that the coach want that their team play, you have to communicate and you have to say what do you want about the player. And for me, I coach kids from 11, 13, 15,
Yeah.
and nowadays this season 28
Wow.
years old. And with all of them, I have to speak English. And for me, it's an opportunity to speak English that I
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
from these people um, was an opportunity to think, okay, I understand what the coach is telling me, and I will try to do my best.
Mate, absolutely. And man, your level of English is perfect for working overseas, man. Honestly, you're conveying your message very, very clearly. It's very easy to understand exactly what you want to say, and you also, which one very important thing, man, is that I can feel your personality. I can feel the good guy that you are through the way that you're speaking with me, man. So that's really important to transmit how you
Thank
are.
you.
So well done, man. I'd love to know, mate. You have built platforms like La Pizarra, Táctica, which we talked about before. Before this kind of football content thing became common online. Now it's a bit more common, but when you started, it wasn't so common with coaches, especially. Do you think modern coaches should build a personal brand or share like knowledge publicly? Is this something you would encourage?
Yeah, yeah. Look at this. I think this is a very
Yeah,
interesting thing to talk about,
yeah,
because coaches, when they train children, when they are the coaches of children, maybe in some situations they see a opportunity to win the league with I don't know, an under 11 team, and this is the opportunity to promote next year to an under 13 team and win the league and promote, and they coach children like professionals, and they put off all the education, all the values that you can transmit in football when you're coaching children. And why I
wow,
think this is important to create a personal brand, or
yeah,
the most important for me, to show your work, not your results. Football
yeah,
is from players. You only win the league if you have good players.
wow,
Look at the Premier League. They had, I don't know, Crystal Palace. They had very
yeah,
good players, but he never win the league because they are Arsenal. We are Manchester United, Manchester City above them. So the
wow,
result from you as a coach is not the result of in the table.
yeah,
Is when you start with your team and you end with your team, which is the develop here. If if you start with a team that is a 5 and you end in a 7, you have improved your team 2 points.
This is so
Uh,
good.
is the reality
Yeah.
is you as a coach is you are the only person that can see that on the parents. And how do you can transmit this to other people about social media? For example, I like to record a video in trainings to select videos in the start when I get the team and in the end and they develop that. That's my work here, not if we won the league. And we don't defend crosses because we don't know how to defend that situation. And in the end of the league, we are in one of the best team defended this type of situation. This is my work, how the team has developed in this season, for example, in this situation.
Mate, that is such a damn good answer. Like that's one of the best answers I've heard on this show, man. Honestly, I'm getting emotional actually because I love that. Everyone needs to hear that. Everyone needs to hear that. Like it's not the result. It's not if you win the league. It's where did you start? And this is really for us in everything in life, right, bro? Like anything, your relationships, your friends, your work, whatever it is, man. It's where you start and where you finish. What is the just how much have you improved in that time in what areas, not just in the score but also as people, right, helping them grow as kids in this case, it's fantastic answer, man. Thank you for that. Thank you. Next one, man. You seem very like from all the projects that you're juggling and all the things and I've looked at your profiles and you seem very self-demanding, I have to say, and you're constantly learning. How do you avoid burnout or obsession in football? Because as you said, when you're a coach, you're thinking about it 24/7. You've also juggling all these other projects as well. How do you avoid that?
Well, I think in your life you have stages and you have to respect each one. For example, when I was alone, I only play football, I coach children, and in my free time, I go to see matches. I love to analyze professional matches from Arsenal, Manchester City, Football Club Barcelona, I don't know, a lot of teams. And for example, when I was having lunch or dinner, I really like to see in YouTube videos from the goals of the last match journey
Yeah,
to
yeah,
analyze how teams score goals, for example. But that was on a stage of my life. Nowadays, I couldn't do this because I maybe I
yeah,
can get into burnout.
yeah,
And
yeah.
for example, nowadays I prefer to select
Mm,
which teams analyze, uh, which team I want to invest my time.
yeah,
And
yeah,
for example, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, uh, you was difficult for me to find videos from professional football in a specific situation of the game, for example, crosses,
yeah,
how to defend crosses.
yeah,
And nowadays, if you go into LinkedIn or YouTube or
yeah,
Twitter, there is a lot of videos or
yeah,
people that works in this.
yeah.
And
It's true.
I prefer to to see this or to invest this time in look this specific
Yeah,
information,
yeah,
but
yeah,
is constantly refresh your knowledge, try to get
mate.
to your best version.
Yeah, mate. And it sounds like you're very aware of the time that you have available, and so you prioritize very, very professionally what you can put your time and effort into. So that's a good one, man. If a young coach is listening to this right now, what would you tell them to focus on the most if they really want to grow?
If I told me,
Yeah. Or for
okay,
example, or yeah, like a young coach that's listening now, imagine they're in like Cadiz and they're listening going, I want to grow as a coach, I want to work overseas. What would you tell them to focus on? Like what should be their priority at the moment?
I have, I think I have so many things to say here.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so
uh,
tough to pick one.
the,
Yeah.
the first one,
Yeah.
there is a very important player in the field that maybe if you ask for which is more important in a starting 11, you don't say this situation, and it's the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
For me, in my situation, I don't know, or I know only a little things from goalkeeping,
Yeah.
and it's very, very important. One coach said me that the best goalkeeper is the one that avoids to make a save.
Yeah.
This is the best goalkeeper, and I understand this and think, oh shit, I have to learn a lot of goalkeeper because I receive a goal and I don't know what the goalkeeper must have did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
Also to grow as a coach, I think it's very important to try,
Yeah.
because if you have level and you promote each year to older children and maybe to professionals, as higher you coach, less you can try. Because if you lost, you go
Yeah.
to the street.
Yeah.
Children are learning. You also when you start as a coach of children, and I think this is the best opportunity to try system, to try precision, to try how to speak, how to motivate. I, for example, have a lot of uh, I'm so excited with Mikel Arteta,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he's at the top level. I have
Yeah.
seen his series in Prime Video, I think,
Yeah,
or
me too.
Netflix,
Yeah, me too. Great series.
and
Yeah.
I'm so excited with this coach because when he talk that he has a lot of knowledge about tactics. He has been with Guardiola. He has been a professional football player, but I have I'm so excited with this coach because you see in the series that he tried things to motivate their players. He tried with the light boom. He tried to put music when he played in Anfield to
Yeah.
use their players to play with surround,
Exactly,
and
like in the actual atmosphere they will be playing in, replicating the atmosphere. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's
we don't
it's
know we don't know if this work or not, but if Arteta tried this in professional football, you have the best opportunity to try a lot of things with children.
Mate, it's such a good answer because you're right. Man, everybody, I'm just going to break down those two things Alvaro said just to remind you, those two really key pieces of advice. Number one, try everything, especially before you get to that high level, because as he says, when you're at that high level, experimenting is not so it's not so accepted really at that level. They want you to have your things very, very clear, but yeah, you can experiment more at that lower level, and I think it's so good to try all those things, man, while you can. Obviously, the second thing, and this is a big thing, I never thought of this, and I don't think anyone has said this before, and probably will say this again, very good about the goalkeepers, because I think the majority of us, just for sheer law of averages, the number of outfield players, there are a lot more of us than goalkeepers. So, in turn, we become coaches, a lot more outfield players. And we don't understand what it's like being a goalkeeper. It's very different from being an outfield player. Extremely different. The mentality, the positioning, everything, right? So, as you say, they could make a mistake in your eyes, but how do you correct them? What should they do? So this is something that's very worth studying. So goalkeeping, and try things, guys. Try things. Alvaro, great job, man. Before we finish up today, would you like to mention anything that I haven't asked you? Anything that you would like to tell the guys that are listening? Anyone that wants to contact you, for example?
Yeah, for example, we have talked about Safe Football. That is a project that we work with clubs, more or less 30 or 40 clubs here in Spain, in Andorra, and nowadays also in South America. And we try to help coaches, parents, with the target that the kids were the most the most has the most a better result in this stage of their lives, talking about football. For example, giving tools in emotional intelligence and communication, motivation to coaches to help the parents to understand what is football in children, what children lives in this stage, and also give them tools. For example, when his kid is injured, when his kid has a role or a mode of play different from the coach. I love to say this example. Dybala and Mourinho are profiles totally different,
Yeah.
but Dybala was in the starting 11 of the Europa League final with
Yeah.
Mourinho and they
Yeah.
won.
Yeah.
So if your kid plays different to the coach, this year is not a sit. You have the
Yeah.
opportunity to improve some situations in the game that maybe you don't manage a lot as a player, but this is a situation that with this coach I will learn this
Yeah.
this year,
Oh, mate, that's great.
and that's all.
Yeah.
I'm so happy as a coach.
Mate, say football just quickly. That sounds so interesting. So if someone is interested in working with you and knowing these things, what's the best way to contact you about this?
It's I think in Instagram,
Instagram.
arroba say
Yep.
football, and
Perfect.
that's the
Fantastic.
way.
Fantastic, man. And before we finish, Alvaro, one last thing. Every guest now nominates another Spanish speaking coach who has worked internationally or has used English in football environments. Who would you like to nominate to come on to this podcast?
I think you can talk with Milagros Martinez,
Milagros
that is
Martinez.
a woman coach that has works in Japan, in
Fantastic.
Mexico, and nowadays he is the coach, the main coach of under 17 woman national team from
Wow.
Spain.
Oh, wow. Great.
And I
Oh,
think he has talk English in any situation in Japan
wow.
mostly,
Yeah, this
and
would be.
maybe
Mate, I would love. She sounds like a great one for the show, Milagros Martinez. If you're listening, and yeah, like please come on the show. This sounds fantastic. Alvaro has called you out. I will get in contact with her, and we'll see if we can get her on. But she sounds like a really interesting one. Thank you so much today, Alvaro. This was honestly one of the most interesting conversations we've had on this show because we went far beyond football tactics in this conversation. I think a lot of coaches listening will realize that modern football is increasingly about communication, emotional intelligence, leadership, and understanding people, right? Not just understanding the game. So thanks so much for coming on, mate.
it was a pleasure for me.
Thank you. And guys, if you're listening, please subscribe to the show, share it with your friends, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye.